Hey Brewberries, before this episode actually starts, wanted to record this quick little thing. So I recorded this episode like 3 or 4 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. I don't remember how long it's been. But TLDR is my work has been absolutely insane. I've been doing like 60 to 80 hour weeks since October, and I've had pretty much virtually no time to put the episode together. So if I reference anything, I'm just letting you know it's like been a while since I've recorded this. I don't even remember. I haven't edited the episode yet either. So I'm doing that today. But yeah, just work has been insane. Letting you know that's why there's been a hiatus of videos as well. Things are calmed down quite a bit now. So hence why there's Hightail, and this episode's now going to be coming out at some point. So just FYI, wanted to start the video off briefly, and yeah, so enjoy the episode. We're getting into some crazy big builds, and I'm really excited for it. So look forward to that. All right, on with the episode. Hey there, Brewberries. What's up, and welcome to another episode of Brew Build. Today, we're just chopping trees. That's it. That's all we're doing today. Nah, I'm just pulling your leg. That's not all we're doing. That is actually going to be something that we don't actually do that much of. I'm probably not even going to show it on camera, but I am going to need to clear out, I think I have to clear out all these trees. So it's going to take me a minute. I'm not going to touch these because what we're doing today is going to cover up most of them. So I just kind of need to get these ones that are like down here in the foothill ground area of the mountain. Last episode, we built this beauty of an island, and I have not done anything since with it. Work's been, seems like a theme, has been quite crazy. And I have not had time to be able to do anything. So we're kind of just letting this be, letting it sit. Eventually I'll finish off the road, of course. And there's still some like terraforming, and not even terraforming, just like landscaping and stuff that we need to do. But I really dig how this has turned out. And it's just going to get better and better once I start putting in more and more of the trees and foliage and stuff. But I wanted to take a little bit of a break from this. Not really in the mood to do that. I'm more in the mood to start on the project that we're going to begin with over here. Take a good look of this view right here. This view over time is going to dramatically change. And that's because we're tackling the largest terraforming project we have ever done on this channel. And if it goes well, very likely is going to be the gateway drug for me to be doing more giant terraforming projects. And thus, to jump into it, I have gathered up a lot of resources. So this all is stone. This is pretty much, aside from, I guess, this shulker box, the only one that I showed you is all dirt / grass. And then this is a variety of resources for like the other types of stone. Now we mainly just need andesite, but we're going to need some granite and diorite. And I do need more tuff. I do indeed need to go and get more tuff. But yeah, we're tackling this mountain range today. And you might be wondering, what is it that we're building? And that is still going to be a secret. Oh. Now, in order for me to do this, I just need to jump right in. And so I thought I would talk about it a little bit over the course of the beginnings of some time-lapsey stuff. So let's just jump right in. Well, y'all, I think you can see that we have a little bit of work ahead of us, don't we? Now, this is not even all of the outlines. I just kind of stopped because of the sheer scale of it. I'm going to continue, and by the end of it, we'll have all of the little outlines done. But we're not going to be doing all of this today. It's a little bit bigger than I can do in one episode. But if we get on Mr. Ghosty Boy, if we can get up to him. Oh, come on now. Yes. We can take a look-see at this in a better, easier perspective. I do love the gas. The gas has come in clutch in so many ways for building this. Like, being able to just kind of fly and place blocks is so much nicer. So This is significantly larger probably than even you were envisioning, and that's okay. That's okay. Your small minds may forge anew with whatever I'm making. Do I know what that means? No. But I really just wanted to make this a really cool, impressive mountain range area. And I also wanted to give myself plenty of space to work with. So the idea of this, as you can see, there's going to be a bit of a pathway. And we're starting down there. So this road might end up having to be reworked, might end up being an alleyway, might be, I don't know exactly what. I have not planned out like the city area or anything as of yet. Obviously, this is probably going to have to change a little bit, not too much. I tried to plan it so that we didn't have to do too much of a change on the landscaping on this side since we already kind of figured out where we wanted to put something, but it can always change. But the idea is pathway starts here and kind of clambers up here. And there, the path is going to be made out of packed mud. I just don't have any mud, so I can't really do it. But pathway, you can kind of see I've started carving out this path that goes along the mountainside. And this entire area is actually like up to this line here, which is kind of hard to see. But here, I'll zoom in. That line right there is actually the edge of where the pathway is. So it gets pretty wide in this area. I'm going to be sick if I stay that zoomed in. But this area gets pretty wide right here. And so I was thinking we might be able to have the pathway kind of go along the mountainside and have like a house nestled up in this area. Now, these little spires here are indeed spires of rock. And this whole area is kind of very similar to that kind of look and feel where it's got a bunch of boulder type things, spiry boulders that are coming up. And it ends up looking really, really cool, I think. But right now, it probably looks a little crazy. I also did go a little weird on some of the block placing. I don't know, some of the block placing now, I'm like, why did I place just that grouping of snow? What was going through my mind? But the fun part is this will become a somewhere around here. There is an area for a bridge, and I think it's connecting up this bit here to this bit here, and it ends up giving us this kind of like V shape in between this peak and this large peak. And we're going to have like a waterfall that cascades all the way down and flows all the way into the lake. And that's kind of like the source for a lot of this water. That's kind of at least the idea. And now you can kind of see this pathway will continue all the way around. And I kind of stopped it. It goes all the way over there and then it continues around. I stopped doing it because we're not going to get to the backside. Like we're not even gonna get to this upper portion. I'd like to get like this path section here and figure out how long that takes. Ooh, BRB. All right, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I was falling that fast. You saw nothing. But yeah, we're not going to be tackling the large cliffs as of yet. The main goal that I'd like to do today is to get up to this path section here. I'd like to get maybe up to here, down like up to like the valley area where the waterfall will go. That I think is a good plan. It's a good chunk. It'll give us a good idea as to like what it looks like from down there. But it's attainable because this, like, I don't have enough stone to do all this, obviously. And so there's just a lot of work to be done. And then additionally, the last thing that I would like to do, so that section is like the primary building actually the stuff up section. Up here, this is a huge plateau. The plateau here should stretch from here all the way to that point there, maybe a little bit beyond. And it is roughly, I want to say 150 blocks, 130, 150 blocks, something like that. The build up here is going to be huge, and it does extend sideways from like this point all the way over. It's like 100, I want to say it's 135 by like 55 or something like that. It's a very big build. And the goal of it, and I'm not going to reveal totally yet what it is, but the idea and the reason why we're tackling this is because all of these mountains are going to be very much like this. Like we're truly making jagged peaks is kind of the idea. Like this is a jagged peak mountain, and we're accentuating the jagged peaks. And it ends up looking really cool. But the idea that I want to go for is we're going to have this huge monumental build here that just is like the staple piece of this entire area. You see it from wherever you are. And it's also kind of like feels like it's almost overly unattainable. Like it feels like one route to get up. You have to walk all the way around the mountainside. You can actually see the pathway area pretty well here. It wraps all the way around, comes down, and then connects up right below us, actually. So that is going to be a huge build here. The view from the fishing village is really sick because you get like the whole distance from the village, but it's actually like still feels massive, and it's just going to be really cool. Now, I haven't designed the build yet, and the view from down there in the farming region that we're going to do at some point in our lives is also going to be really, really cool. So I'm really excited about this, but the idea too is this is a huge build, but then in here is almost like a small village that's nestled within the valley. That's kind of the idea. And it's not going to be a huge village. It's not going to be like houses upon houses upon houses, but the idea is that this is also going to be not just a valley of nothing. And I'd like to play around with using moss and moss carpets to add some green life that can't be snowed on. I think that would be really nice. I really hope somebody makes a mod that makes it so ghasts are just a little faster, because this is really good for building, but I really wish there was like a sprint. But you can't sprint because then you don't sit down. I don't know. It just feels like the ghast is too slow. I don't know if you realize, but the music is playing, and they finally added a setting to where you can make it so the music just plays constantly. And for me, that is so much nicer, because I often will play without music, never hear the music, but then in videos I'll put the music back in, and that's honestly kind of obnoxious because I would rather play with music. Like what I'm hearing now is amazing, and because it just will continually play, I can actually keep it in the video and then dub out whatever I don't want. A couple things to catch you up before we jump back into building. I have been doing a good amount of work on our tools. So every tool in here now has mending for the most part. I think a couple are missing. Yeah, this fortune is missing and this fortune is missing. I could do it. I just ran out of levels. And then this one is not missing, but I'm going to combine these two and hopefully get a Silk Touch book to make a third or fourth, I guess, Silk Touch pickaxe. And then I think we're good. I think honestly, the next step is start gathering netherite, because I've never made a netherite tool in my life. Oh, I did also make this axe. It's now an efficiency 5 unbreaking 3 axe. Need to put smite and stuff on it, but it's good. It's good. So last thing before we can get into building, something I need to do. So I've got all this wheat here, and I've also got this, which there's just some things I need to do before we start into the actual building. First, all these trees in this area need to be cleared. This whole section here needs to be cleared. Kind of gets in the way, and then a couple of these trees here need to be cleared, but for the most part, they don't have to be because the mountain's much bigger than them. So I'm not going to deal with them. I already cleared, you can kind of see like this pathway here. I already cleared of the birch trees and stuff. And so this should all be good. This is all going to be cleared anyways. Other thing that I did, so we used to have this wheat farm here. And, you know, I was designing a redstone farm and thinking, oh, I'll just make this really fun. Don't you do it, Mavericks. All right, sorry, Mavericks saw a human and he was walking in front of our house and he didn't like that. But we used to have this big old wheat farm here. And I was designing a wheat farm to be like this big water contraption thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is the way to do it. See, doesn't this look cool? Oh, just imagine when it's all filled in. Oh, it's going to be good. Just envision, like, you think that's tall. this is gonna be a big daddy. It's not gonna probably be as tall as this, but it's gonna look as tall. But I was just like, wait, hold on. Why not just make a micro farm? This thing produces more wheat faster than I can get bone meal, and it's amazing. What? You don't have anything good, did you? I've already talked with you. Yeah, you've got eye blossoms, but I can always go get those. But here's something also random. This is a bone converter. Is it probably a waste of redstone? Sure, but that's fine. So I've taken it and taken this out. I need to make it like a piston setup or something. But the idea is you put bones in here, and then with these observers firing and just one slot, these two crafters just pump through the bone and make it bone meal. And it's honestly, I had to do this like hopper setup because it's too fast. It's too fast. Having two hoppers pulling and then having two double chests is the only means of being able to somewhat catch up, but I think it still gets filled up. So very interesting. We don't necessarily need that, but we have the skeleton farm, so I figured we're gonna have bones and stuff anyways. We do have the pickle farm as well. Doesn't make bone meal, but we have some bone. We have a lot of bones here, so if I really need tons and tons of wheat, I'm not using the pickle farm a ton because we aren't doing any underwater landscaping as of yet, not for a bit at least. And then of course we do have our moss farm over here in the village, and we got some bones, but not a crazy amount. But we could definitely run this and it would be fine. And don't you worry, we will come back to the fishing village and finish off all the little bridges and things that we need to. But I'm just taking a break because this excites me more. And we'll finish those trees and figure out more trees to put in. But again, this is more cool. So that is where all this wheat has come from. And these are for mud. That is the next thing that we need to do. So I'm going to grab myself a bed. We are going to go ahead and go on over to the closest mangrove, which actually is not that far away. Whoop, there we go. It's not that far away because during the update, I did do some chunk resetting and stuff. And there used to be a swamp over this way a bit. And it was supposed to be a mangrove swamp, but there were only 2 mangrove trees that appeared and only a tiny chunk of mud. And I think there was just some weird biome blending that happened. And because I reset the chunks, it actually fixed itself. So we actually have a good-sized mangrove biome right here. Like, it's literally right here. It's not far away. Which is really good because, A, I'm not going to build here. And B, it was really obnoxious to fly 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 blocks that way just to go get some mud. So I'm gonna gather up 2 shulker boxes worth of mud so we can start placing path blocks, and then yeah, we'll get to building. Oh boy, it's been a while. I have been pretty bad about playing Minecraft, honestly. To be honest, there's been a lot of work stuff going on and a lot of constant impeding on personal life, pretty much. That's just happened. And I also, because of that, like, I've had time to play Minecraft, but I've not really wanted to because it's a creative game, and if I'm putting in extra hours to do creative work, it kind of makes playing Minecraft a little harder because it's a creative game. But we've made some progress. Still a little bit more progress to go for today that I'd like to do. But hopefully, I don't know if you can tell the difference between where we were prior to this or not. But we are pretty much all done. Where's my guest? There you are. Come here, buddy. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but we have the path area done from down yonder. Got all the path blocks I needed all the way up through to this section. My goal is to complete this chunk of land here and also this down below area. This, I don't know exactly how much further I'm going to be able to make it. Part of my goal is maybe to finish off this section right here. There's not a whole bunch more to go. There's a kind of a whole mess of things here, because right here you can see the kind of like this little channel that I have marked out, and that's because there's this going to be this ravine that we will have to build a bridge across in order to get from that platform to over on here where another platform is. And then that ravine is actually a waterfall where down here the land goes up, and I don't want to do the bridge currently, and the ravine has a lot of refining that I still need to do. Let's take a walk up onto this so that I can actually kind of like walk you through it as well. So this path and stuff, like the foundation of it is here, and I don't think this is going to change, but all of this is probably going to now have to change a little bit as to what I was initially thinking, because like this is where I thought the main road would go, and it can probably still go. It could probably curve around here, but this sewer entrance that's like right down wherever it is right there, this might just end up being like a back alley type of situation. But the this is kind of like one of the main roads to get up here. This is the longer, easier to travel route. And then I think we're going to have one option that goes up the mountainside here that will like do switchbacks all the way up. I think that will be better for those that are a little bit more maybe physically fit. I do want to keep this like, I don't like how it's like literally stair-stepped, but I do like the idea of there being like a big giant cave entrance here that we could turn into some form of like, I don't know. My first thought is like an what is it called? Orrery? I don't know if that's a thing, but a place that processes ores built into the mountain naturally where a cave is. I think that could be kind of cool. But the path kind of just wanders up this way, and it's fairly evenly sloped. Thankfully, Axiom has a sloping tool, which makes this type of stuff a lot easier to figure out and not have to like mess with. Oh, I guess I forgot a couple blocks. Nope, that was the wrong. Nope, that was wrong. Right there. There we go. Still a work in progress, but you'll also notice I've tried to put in a lot of snow blocks. There's lava around here somewhere. But I've tried to put in a lot of snow blocks to make it feel like very just snowy and covered in snow. And I don't know if I like it being here, but the problem with it is everything's going to have a snow layer. Pretty much whenever it rains, it'll always we'll always have snow on the ground. So it's going to be a little difficult to work with here. But here's kind of like an initial look at to like what is happening here. So I built this platform initially thinking that it would be really, really cool if we had a build up here, like a house or something tucked away up here, as to like somebody that just lives up in the mountains a little bit, but is not maybe up on, maybe this is actually no, this goes straight up. This is a mountain. We could maybe make a plateau, but I think the point is to have a house down here tucked against the side of the mountain here. But this is a really cool feeling area, especially like when it's done. The planned world where all this is already created, it's very, very cool feeling. Like you walk up here and I can just imagine like a little house or two tucked away, or like it's just like a homestead area where they're utilizing it, but it's like also main pathway. But the idea is there's this like whatever this is, this platform here that kind of goes right to here. And then in between these two mountains will be a waterfall that cascades down. And I got inspired by it because I made this mountain a lot taller. And then there's this water here. And I thought it just fit really well to have a mountain here and have a waterfall go down. I thought it was really, really cool. Okay, we're going to actually flatten this guy out because it's kind of annoying me. So I think there's a plateau. The plateau goes to about here. And then it goes to that level here. So it's a bridge that goes a little down and then continues around. And the goal is that this pathway wraps all the way around this cliffside. And this is a very, very steep cliff. And then at some point, it goes back up a little bit. And then at some point, it kind of has to tuck under the this cliffside. Like this is a big overhang. And then it'll kind of walk all the way around, go all the way around, and then I obviously stopped planning because this backside's not as it's not as bland. But it wraps all the way around and connects up to, I believe it wraps all the way to about here. I think this section right here. So this mountain extends up even further, and then it connects up to right here. Honestly, it could connect up right here. That might actually look pretty cool. Yeah, that could be kind of cool. Oh, no. I'm entirely wrong. It connects up right here. That's right. Because the plateau, I forgot that the plateau doesn't go all the way over there. It connects up to right here. And then, but I'm kind of digging that little cave. Like it could connect up there and then feeds down into the valley rather than connecting here. I don't know. Maybe there's definitely, we're going to use that cave for something. But yeah, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really digging it. A lot of work. So I didn't use as much stone as I thought I would. We've only gone through 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 shulker boxes of stone, and I still, not even four full ones. Still have a good amount of tough, still have a good amount of everything. Haven't used any of these, just andesite and this. But yeah, I think we're pretty good. The pathway, I think we have enough path blocks here. There was one thing I wanted to show after I made the path block. So I showed the single crafter. I wanted to have an easy way to do like a 2-block recipe. So this house is kind of a like tinkerer junk. Oh, I forgot. I stole this. I can go back. This house is kind of like a tinkerer junk seller. And so I kind of figured this would be a good spot to put this. So this is a 2-item crafter, automatic crafter. So the goal currently, so there's 2 hoppers that are on either side here that these do stuff. So they're locked currently. So you put these 2 double chests full, and then it produces a double chest of stuff. So let's say we put in gunpowder, and then we put in 3 stone. We did that. Crafter gets filled up automatically because they get unlocked exactly at the same time. It doesn't ever like impede upon itself and like double stack things on either side, or like if this was all mud, this was all wheat, there's not ever really a chance for it to cross over and do like 2 muds or 2 wheats. So really, really good. And then we've got this system back here, which is just a little clock that produces it. And this speed is purposeful. This is the exact speed that a hopper inputs. So every time one is made, new stuff flows in. So it never runs out until it's fully done. And I gotta say, the whole crafting, automatic crafting type of stuff, I really dig this. Like, I don't usually do redstone all that often. Like, I don't shy away from it, but I don't like go for it all the time. Oh, look at this. Isn't this gonna be sick? Like, you just imagine, ouch. You imagine, oh, here, hold on. I gotta bump my render distance because it's too far away. I mean, like, these people are supposed to have a really good view here. And yeah, I mean, if you get up here and you're just like chilling, I mean, they're not going to be chilling on the trees, but if we're just chilling here on the dock at the pickles, I forget, pickles market. Yeah, that's going to be an epic sight. And remember, there's a huge build that goes on top of this. Like, it's the entire span of the plateau. So it's going to be like a staple of this area. This is going to be like the build. Also, welcome to our little fishermen. They always shoot at me. always very, very rude. Hit me in the butt occasionally. It's fine. I forgive them, but kind of annoying that they shoot me in the butt cheeks all the time when I come over here to get like sugarcane and stuff. All right, that is enough of an update, I think. I'm going to keep building. I think I want to get all the rest of this section done, and then I think that is a good spot to be able to end. I was going to do the whole plateau as well, but I need to make more torches and actually like torch this place up, because this whole area is becoming a mob spotter, and I know it's going to just continue to be that. So I should probably do my due diligence and actually kind of like torch, at least put some torches down, you know? It's not like it is necessarily going to matter because we're not going to be walking around up here very much, but yeah, I should probably do my due diligence. So I'll have to do that in between episodes, but that's okay. But let's go ahead and keep on doing work, and I'll be back and we can see what the final kind of like results are. Well, y'all, I have done a little bit more work, and this is, I think, in a good spot for us to be able to leave it off for this episode. So I have done all, obviously, up to that line right there, filled this all in. And what's going to be happening here is I think I'm going to smooth this out even more. I think I might honestly raise this whole chunk right here up to like this level and then have it go down by this house a little bit more, just to make it so this doesn't have to go down as far, and we can have a nice smooth pathway. So the idea, the goal, the main thing between clips that we've changed obviously is like this is complete now. Didn't really do anything else over there, so not going to show anything over there. But the idea and walkthrough of what's going to happen here is we're going to still have this pathway somehow coming down this section here, and then this is going to be obviously the main road to and fro from the city. We still need to expand this a bit, I just don't want to right now, but pathway's going to go here. If this is extended up, then this doesn't have to go down as much, so we can smooth this out a hair bit more. Added in these little chunks here. I need to throw in a grass block every now and again just to get it so that it becomes grass. I think that'll look better. But the idea is the path will be able to come down here, go this way, and then also branch off and start going around the lake. And as you can maybe kind of see what we're doing. There's like this little gap here that I mentioned before, I believe, of this is going to be a little ravine that eventually goes up between these two peaks here. And then that actually is going to go right down to here. And so this is actually going to have, I think it's probably like 5 or 6 wide. So we're going to have a bridge from this little plateau area down to here. And I might put a tiny little house here or just a tree or something. I'm not really exactly sure yet, but this is going to have like a little bit of a water feature type of thing. But then most of the rest of this landscape actually doesn't change. It's pretty much now just adding on, outside of this little ravine, it's pretty much just adding on this whole giant cliff. So that's good. I'm glad I went about it that way. I mean, obviously we'll make some changes as we go and build out this area some more, but I'm glad that I did not go too ham on the terraforming of the like ground, because we're already doing enough, I feel like. Y'all should also let me know, like you saw that little top left thingy there with the music. Let me know if you like the just general vibe of the Minecraft music being on in the background. But as the sun sets, we can get a good overview here of the area that we have just started. Like, this is still a good amount of blocks. I think this is like 7 or 8 shulker boxes of stone and dirt and stuff, predominantly stone, but I'm really excited about this. And the rest of this honestly is not too bad. This area actually, this took a little bit more time to do because I had to like kind of diggy my way around. But for the most part, the rest of this is just placing blocks down. And I think if we just do an hour or two for each episode, we'll be able to get there eventually. And I'm really excited to start building the rest of this upper area once we get to there. I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you're looking forward to all of this. So sorry about, again, the just kind of being all over the place with the timing of this episode. It's you can just blame my job and it taking over a lot of life outside of work, which is not great, not something that I love, but we're dealing with it and it's fine. Look out for and since I have you at the end of this, and those of you that have made it all the way will care more about this. I think I'm gonna do almost like you see YouTubers do like stream videos where they stream for an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever, and then they upload that entire clip. I think I'm gonna try something like that. I'm not necessarily gonna stream, but I might just do like a much more chill, hardly any editing type of video to just keep working on this. So if you like long form videos like that, I'm kind of planning on doing that because this is such a big project and I don't necessarily want to always be doing a full episode dedicated to the mountain building. I want to do other builds, you know? So look out for that if you like long form type content. If you don't, then look out for the next video, whatever that is. Hopefully I can get my act together and not have to do so much work outside of my normal working hours, but that's not up to me. But I hope you have enjoyed. Hope you had a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of a Brew and Build. Bye-bye.